Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Retro Review Episode 10. Tonight we're reviewing Sleepaway Camp!
Sleepaway Camp. You won't be coming home.
The day has arrived!
Oh my gosh. Also known as Averyl's favorite bad movie, right? Almost?
Yes,
okay.
it is.
Okay.
Yes. So if you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp,
yes.
100% pause this right now, go watch it, and then come back. Like, I can't stress this enough. Because
there will be spoilers.
There will be spoilers, and
it's not what you would think it would be.
Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just go watch the movie, expect a hilarious, bad 80s horror movie, and just like go with it and have a great time.
Have a great time just laughing at the movie.
You're welcome.
You are allowed to laugh at it.
I mean, how can you not?
We wouldn't want them to leave without us, now would we? No? No, I'm afraid that wouldn't do.
Okay, so you're back. You've watched it. You've come back. Great. Okay. So, Sleepaway Camp, the 1983 classic. Now, the first time I saw this movie, I was actually scared of this movie a little bit. Because I was a big fraidy cat.
Okay.
Didn't watch any horror movies. And I was like, oh, I'm a little creeped out.
Was that a little shade?
No, it wasn't. I genuinely was like, I used to be scared of the trailers. And in fact, the trailers are usually the scariest part of the movies at this point. But no, I was in bad movie club, and I was like, oh, we're watching a horror movie. I don't know, I'm scared about it. And then it was like, oh, this was an experience. And I love every second of it. My friend used to come up behind me and just go. It just keeps changing. It's so insane. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's so edgy. In the fact, I mean, there are things in this movie.
Sure.
That would not be
brought up
that would not be in a mainstream movie. And I'm not just talking about the end, which we'll get to, but like throughout the movie, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? What? I think it transcends and actually becomes a great movie because it's so bad it lulls you into a false sense of security.
Sure.
Particularly the first time you watch it, you're like, this is crazy. I'm gonna dismiss this, and then. By the end, you're like, holy shit, I feel like I'm on a different planet or something.
I think the general consensus is often, if not always, I don't know what just happened.
Oh, yeah. They weren't trying to make a real movie.
They weren't?
I mean, they were, but they failed on every level, at every junction.
It does not have the density of failure that Showgirls does.
I think it does, but just on a smaller scale.
Maybe.
Showgirls had money and actors.
Sure.
You know, craft service.
Right.
You know, it was a real movie.
Sure.
This is a weekend project that then became something else.
Right.
I mean, so it starts. I mean, it just from the beginning. So it starts and a title card pops up. And you already know what you're in for. You're already like, what's this? But what's this though? A doer? Is that a word?
She's a doer.
She's a doer. And that just really sets the tone.
It also just like makes I'm hoping that this has nothing related to his mother. Her mother? His mother. It's clearly his.
I also like to think of this movie in the context of the creators of Wet Hot American Summer most certainly watched this. Repeat viewings. And it's just amazing.
I hope so.
When you think about it that way, right?
Right.
There's so many things. So it starts, we're at a lake. And there's two very Jewish, very New York children.
Oh my God.
Peter started it. I did not, you liar. Did too. Did not.
Oh my God, Ricky. And Aunt Martha is coming.
Aunt Martha's coming?
Aunt Martha's coming?
We cut to the other best actor in the film.
Candy, stop now!
The water skier. So it's basically Paul Rudd's character from Wet Hot American Summer is driving this motorboat.
Hey, Craig, how about letting me take her around once, huh?
Yeah, whatever. Take the boat out. I don't give a shit.
Hey, Andy, can I take out the motorboat and drive around the lake?
Sure.
We get these two neglectful teenagers who are driving a speedboat, and they run over the family.
Give me those videos!
mother who's just...
Oh my God, she's so great.
At 15. All the time.
Oh my God! Somebody help them!
Oh my God! Help the people! Help the people! There's a boat! We're gonna run over them! So there's a lot of questions about
details.
Who's related to who and how.
Yes.
And why. Handsome man on the dock.
Right.
It's almost 4:30. Doc's gonna be here soon.
So the man on the dock
Yes.
is the gay lover
Yes.
of the father. So Aunt Martha
Yes.
is the dad's sister?
We don't know what happened to their mother.
No, I guess we never see their mother.
She must be dead, because otherwise...
The aunt wouldn't take custody.
Wouldn't take custody. So
Yeah.
yes, she must be dead. It's a tragic tale about how if only they were allowed to be married, his gay husband could have taken the child and everything would have been better.
That's true.
It's really a commentary on LGBT rights.
On repressed homosexuality and yeah. Good. I like it. I like it.
Nobody can act. And yet, it's not that bad. Like,
Well, it's not that bad until you get to a certain person.
well,
We wouldn't want that.
Well, no,
at all.
I mean, but wouldn't you say that she is the best actor in the movie? She is in, so Aunt Martha's coming?
Aunt Martha?
Aunt Martha
Aunt Martha's coming?
is in Twin Peaks. She's in a David Lynch film.
Sure.
She is in a different movie that's also great.
Goodness, no. No, that wouldn't do at all. Richard, Angela!
I mean, I did enjoy watching that.
That movie, she's so insane. She's
Yeah.
so crazy that you dismiss the things she's saying.
Right.
You're like, what's she talking about? This person's nonsense.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, if only I'd listened.
We can't go to camp without our physicals now, can we? Just be careful not to tell anyone how you got them. Oh, no, I'm afraid that they wouldn't approve of that at all. Even though they know that I am a doctor.
I also thought this viewing, she really was giving me some Violet Chachki.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Oh no, that simply wouldn't do.
I mean, I guess by the end,
Yeah.
it all makes sense.
Oh, of course. The only thing that doesn't make sense is where did she get her medical license?
Well,
Online?
for all we know, Princeton, who knows?
The other big question, the biggest question, how did Ricky get so well adjusted with a mom like that?
That's a great question.
Oh.
Well, what is it already?
Oh!
He seems like a pretty normal, cool kid.
I think Ricky is fucking rad.
Right?
I think Ricky is the best.
He kind of is because he's like a cool kid,
Right.
but not an asshole.
Yeah,
He's like a really nice guy, but
Yeah.
also a cool kid.
but he's like fucking rad. He's Ricky. What do we say?
He's like kind of badass. He's
got
good
that-
at baseball.
He's great at baseball. He's great at comebacks.
Yep.
He's really great at cussing people out.
Yeah.
Fucks! I like how he kept using that. He's like, not you fucks. Not you fuckers. Just fucks!
Fucks! I'm gonna beat your fucking asses in!
I'm gonna kill you! You cocksuckers! Fucks! It's so good! We arrive at Camp Arawak.
Oh, yes.
I did think, every time I watch this, I do think it's weird how broad the age ranges are at the camp. There's like 6-year-olds and like 18-year-olds.
Right.
Well, and then if we're including counselors, there's like 45-year-olds.
It is weird. It was like, oh,
Like
okay.
they're all running from the bus. They're like, it's like legit a child. Like a child. What's going on?
Like one of them presumably goes to school at USC. I'm confused.
Well, I think he was a counselor. Harry Dean Kane, which is what I will now refer to him from now on, I think was a counselor.
Okay.
But he still looks a cool, like 37.
Yeah, it was a little bit of like Everybody Wants Some, right? Where you're like, I'm sorry, how old are you supposed to be? Because you look 80.
That's harsh. 80. I do like how dark this movie is.
Yeah.
Like, on the surface, it seems like, oh, it's a stupid slasher camp movie.
Right.
And it very much is that on some level.
But then you get like the chef, like
just a straight up pedophile. Just a straight up pedophile.
Look at all that young, fresh chicken. Where I come from, we call them baldies.
Oh no! Oh, this movie, and that's why I mean it's so edgy, and it's, I think
Yes, I get it, I get it.
That would so not be in even a modern rated R horror movie,
no.
You know, like at all. So it's like, it's very much outside the system in many ways.
Yes.
And then we cut to like, Song of the South, black man, just being like, oh, you, and you're like, oh boy.
They're too young to even understand what's on your mind.
Then, good buddy, there ain't no such thing as being too young. You're just too old.
So that's James Earl Jones' father. That's wacky.
That's crazy. So that's why they sound like the same.
Yeah.
But he looks a lot older. That makes perfect sense.
And then we also get our introduction to one of my other favorite characters, Judy.
Oh,
Judy! Yo, Judy! How you doing?
All right.
Who's the winner?
Oh, Judy. Judy with the sad backstory that I'm assuming exists.
Right? What was her damage, Judy?
Judy is full of feelings. I do like that. Like, okay, there's a shot where, so Judy has seduced Paul, Angela. Yes. Angela's would-be boyfriend.
You're a real scumbag, Judy, you know that?
Fuck you, Ricky.
Fuck you, Ricky. It's a lot of good fuck yous.
There are a lot of good fuck yous.
Really good, just like, well, fuck you. And easily it could have cut away and been like, well, that scene's over. There's like a sad, lingering shot of Judy full of vulnerable regret, being like, I did that. That was something I did, and I feel bad about it, but that's where I am in my life. Like, there's very real moments in this movie where they easily could have cut it.
I feel like you're giving them a little bit more credit than they deserve, but I do feel you, because I did also know, I was like, I mean, at first you notice it just because you're like, well, why are we lingering on her now? And you're like, oh, I'm getting a little something from her. There could be something there.
I'm not necessarily saying it was on purpose, but sure. I think this movie genuinely is like an idiot savant accidentally made a fabulous movie that's disguised as a horrible movie.
Sure.
It's got a lot going on. Like, I remember when I watched this for like the third or fourth time, I was like, I could write like a thesis about this movie.
Probably.
Because there's so much going on.
There is a lot under the surface.
Like, even though, yes, there are scenes where absolutely nothing happens, there's a lot going on. But we get introduced to Judy, who got tips over the summer.
You'll see.
Man, oh man! And, I do love Spot On.
Wait till you get a load of Judy. Man, oh man.
Oh, yeah?
You'll see.
Everyone's got a lot of affectation.
Yeah.
And a lot of accent work.
Yep.
And I think it's because they're all not actors. They're all friends of the director. They're all children.
Sure.
Judy's talking to the older boys. And she comes over to Ricky and he's like, aren't they a little old for you? No, she's like 30.
Who were those guys?
Just some boys I met today.
Weren't they a little old for you?
Don't you know girls mature before boys?
That's bullshit and you know it.
It's just bullshit and you know it, is it?
No, I think
it's a scientific fact,
yeah.
Ricky. But you know, I still love you. You're still Ricky. You're still great.
Well, excuse me, bitch.
How come Angela gets to talk with the boys all day and we have to play volleyball? She's a lot of like, volleyball. She's a lot of things that she says weird.
How come Angela gets to talk to the boys all day and we have to play volleyball?
Oh, we haven't talked about Ronnie, head counselor Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie.
Who's a 45-year-old man.
Yes. Just trying to do his best. A real buff, beefy, like...
Real beefed out man who's really nice.
He is really nice.
Ronnie's just trying to do his job.
Right?
And he's surrounded by a bunch of fucks.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think my favorite Ronnie outfit was when they're all coming in.
Yes.
And it just like, oh boy.
There's so much batch.
Yes.
I realized too why I called it batch, because whenever I used to watch bad movies, I'd be like, oh, batch. There's a batch there. There's a lot of batch whenever there was a huge bulge. It's from a Mystery Science Theater episode. It's from Boggy Creek 2.
Mike is batch.
I know.
Just stuck in there.
There you go.
There's so much of it.
Yeah.
And it's aggressive, and there's children.
Right? That's not like sometimes.
Like, often
I just kept
him
being like,
standing with children next to him, and it's just like right there.
Yeah, you're like, this seems inappropriate.
I mean, there's just so many characters. Well, we get not Dean Stockwell, Mel.
Yeah, right?
Who's a real asshole. And I want to know, what do we think Meg's daddy issues are? Like, what do we think happened to Meg?
Yeah.
Something bad.
Remember that dinner you promised me up at your place?
Yeah. 9:30?
You got it. See you then.
It's like everyone is a horrible person, right? Everyone that came to this camp, aside from Ronnie.
And Ricky.
And Ricky's not, I mean, he's got a foul mouth, but yeah, he's a nice person. I feel like Paul didn't really deserve the death that he got. Little baby Ryan O'Neal.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
Speaking of Paul, jumping ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When he and Angela start, like, getting close, right?
Yeah.
And Judy goes, like, I didn't think she was your type. Was she calling him gay?
I just didn't think she was your type. You know what I mean?
I gotta go.
Like, I didn't think she was your type because you like boys. But then I was like, oh, I hope that's what she is saying, because then it makes even more, like, depth.
Oh, I like it.
Right? Like, oh, of course, the, like, closeted, doesn't know he's gay boy.
Like, somehow finds a boy. I like it.
Right?
Next time I watch it, which would probably be soon, I'm gonna keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, just be like, wait a second, what's the meaning of that line?
What's going on with Paul?
He seems like he could be gay.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after he told me what a prude you are. That is the word you used, isn't it, Paul?
We have to say Paul. There's a lot of marbly.
Yeah.
Paul.
Ooh, if Marissa Tomei had been in this too.
Ooh, I like that. I like it a lot. But no, it's perfect.
Yeah,
we don't need real actors.
Sorry.
It's perfect the way it is. Because again, this movie is also very much lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, well.
They've made 4 sequels. They've made Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers. Is bad, but in a normal bad way. Like, it's like, oh yeah, this is a bad horror movie. And it's funny, but it's not this. Like, this is something else. And then the third one I haven't seen, and the fourth one I think has Isaac Hayes in it.
Oh, wow.
And no, the third one is just a softcore porn, I think. Oh, boy. And I have seen it. They're all blurring together. Can we talk about the cartoonishly large pot of boiling corn water? It's the stupidest, biggest.
It's the dumbest. No, who makes that pot? Who makes that pot? Why would it be so tall?
It's as tall as a person.
Why would it ever, how are you supposed to get that up?
You can get it at Sur La Table. Didn't you know?
How, okay.
$49.99, Sur La Table.
But April, I just don't understand. How is someone, we're supposed to assume.
There's so many campers.
But we're supposed to assume that this pot has been filled with water.
It would take like 5 hours to boil the water in this pot.
Not only would it take forever, but how are you, one, getting all of the corn out of it?
Well, also, the corn at the bottom is going to be very overcooked.
Yeah.
And the top, I mean, it's a minefield.
It's a bizarre thing I've never seen. How are you supposed to get that off of the stove if it's filled with water and it's 12 feet tall? How did you get it
on the stove? I mean, did you use like a little pail?
All the water?
And you just... That is also one of the biggest questions of the movie. More than anything else.
What the fuck is
Where
with
did this
pot
pot come from, and how did he fill it? The mysterious hand of the killer that we never see comes in. I mean, the logistics of this death doesn't make sense. The chair gets pulled out from under him. He grabs onto a shelf above the giant pot.
Yeah.
Hanging? Standing?
Oh, so I think...
Off balance?
No, he's off balance on the edge of the stool.
Oh.
The stool hasn't fully been withdrawn from underneath him.
Sure. And then...
Here's the thing that also doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The stool is 2 feet off the ground.
He could just...
He could just hop to the side. I will say the murders in this are quite graphic, except for Judy.
Well, it got cut because it was too harsh. They filmed it and they didn't show it.
Wow.
He's been horribly burned alive. This is also one of my favorites.
Pretty good makeup work.
There's a lot of creative kills, creative makeup work. It still looks, I thought it looks great for 83.
Yeah.
A lot of it looks really good. And I do like that in like other horror movies, slasher movies, the people who are dying you either don't really care about or you like.
Sure.
For the most part. And in this, no, you hate the people that are dying.
Oh,
You're like, yeah, fucking kill that fucking pedophile, yeah. But I like that angle of it, of like, this world is horrible and the people at this camp are horrible and kind of fuck them.
Yeah, it's like revenge.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I'm assuming that the chef isn't dead.
That's another question that I have. So this is another one of my favorite scenes. So he has been brutally burned and is just going, ah! Ah! And then they've spent the time wrapping his bandages. The police come, he's on a gurney, he's still going, ah! Give that guy some morphine. But then the doctor, who is one of the worst actors in the movie, comes up and goes, there's no medication for the kind of pain that he's in.
What's the prognosis, Doc?
Well, he's badly burned all over, especially his face.
Especially his face. But that's not a prognosis.
No, that's
those are just the facts.
How about his eyes?
Too early to tell. Jesus, the pain must be incredible.
He's conscious. He's like, ah, ah. And I just kept wondering, why isn't he like, it was Angela! She pulled the chair out from under me! She tried to kill me!
I had that question too.
Did he die?
I don't think so.
I do like the idea that he didn't die and that he's just horribly burned for the rest of his life.
And probably has like horrible
It's like some Princess Bride shit. No, not to the death, to the pain, right?
Yeah.
No, your ears you will keep. So there's a lot of mystery scenes.
Oh yeah.
Of like camp stuff. You know, where it was clearly like the director being like, oh, we used to do that. Let's like film a scene of that.
Yeah, we'll toss in a little like.
I'll give them some basic ideas of like what they should be doing.
Right by the beach or whatever, and like.
Well, it's like mind over matter, matter over mind, or whatever that whole scene.
Yeah.
With the butt in his face.
3. You guys are gross.
God, don't tell me Mozart fell for the old mind over matter trick.
And then Harry Dean Cain shows up in a half tee and short shorts with a belt. There's a lot of high-waisted, tight shorts.
Yes.
With belts. And half tees. I could talk about the fashion in this movie.
Oh boy.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
It's half tees, short shorts, tube socks. Judy's jazzercise bathing suit was great. That was a good one.
I mean, her hair is just insane.
Judy's?
Yeah.
It's a mane. It's like a lot.
It's a lot. It's like twice as long as yours. And like twice as voluminous. It's like
that girl that never cut her hair at school.
Sure.
She's like, I've never had a haircut. And you're like, great. That's your thing. Cool. Like, okay. So we've arrived at the baseball scene. It's so good. Because it's insane.
It's insane.
It's also even better thinking of it, again, in the context of Wet Hot American Summer, of like, the big baseball game. And it's like, this seems trite. Maybe we just Shouldn't do it?
And we try to come from behind at the last minute with some weird trick play that we made up, and we win the game. What do you say, team?
It sounds like pretty well-worn territory. The whole thing feels kind of trite.
Let's move on. Yeah, I'll tell him we're not gonna do it. Like, it's just... it's just so good.
Hey, big man! You and your boys want to place a little wager while the game is still close?
What do you have in mind, asswipe?
Buck 'em in, asshole.
That's a little steep.
Outfits in the baseball scene.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's just like raging homoeroticism.
Right, I'm like...
that is just flying out of all of them is so good. And you think it's over. It's like
yeah, oh, that was
it crossfades and you go, oh, the baseball scene must be, oh, it's the next inning. It's like you're actually watching a baseball game. Like, exactly. Is it over yet? No, there's 5 more innings. Oh, okay. And it has my favorite line ever.
Oh my god. I mean, it's really great.
It's great.
Yeah.
They're all just shit-talking each other. You fucks!
Eat shit and die, Ricky.
Eat shit and live, Bill.
Let that soak in. Think about it for a minute. Yeah. Oh, Bill.
Yeah.
I think Bill's the most repressed of all.
Uh-huh.
I think
absolutely.
Yeah. I think Bill just really wants to suck a D. Right? More than anybody?
Probably.
He's the one that's like leading the charge for the
skinny dipping.
Skinny dipping.
We should all go skinny dipping. What? There are no girls? Oh no.
I guess we'll go anywhere.
Why don't you start with that?
The hell with you then. You don't know how to have any fun anyway. Come on, boys.
It's boys being boys. It's very true.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're watching some sort of cinema verite. Like
it's just like a totally different movie.
It's like a separate vignette, right? Yeah. Like the Maisel brothers directed this scene, right? Where they're just like, and now let's take a peek at an 80s baseball game. And it just sort of happens to you.
Come on, take the bat off your shoulder. Fuck you.
You tell him too, Rick. You tell him too. Come on, nobody. He can't.
It seemed like there was an off day. Like they had the day off, and the director was like, "Oh, we just found me playing some baseball." It seems like they all really just liked playing baseball.
They were. I mean, maybe
baseball.
That was an attempt at a wink.
I'm better with this eye.
There you go.
They're playing baseball.
There you go. That was good. That was good. With the ponytail especially.
Water sports. They don't play any water sports unless skinny dipping counts. It's another one of my very, very favorite lines in the movie. They're being assholes. They're being like 80s assholes, and they're talking about trying to get Angela to go skinny dipping and all these things. And they walk up to her, and he's just like, "Yo, Angela, why are you so fucked up?"
Yo, Angela, how come you're so fucked up? I mean, like, what's your problem?
So they're all in the mess hall, and Ricky walks in his 10-gallon hat.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many choices. Like, you know that one thing that you insisted on wearing in high school that you were like, I look really fly. And then it was like, no, you don't.
Bad choice.
You look bad. But that was such a perfect choice for like, I want to see the pre-scene where Ricky was like, tonight's my 10-gallon cowboy hat night. Today's a say something hat sort of day. Like, it was like, I wanted the scene of him trying on all the hats. Yeah. And then it was like,
this one.
This is the one. And I'm really going to impress Judy with this one.
Exactly.
It's so good. And Harry Dean Cain is just wearing a mesh blue top. And there's so much hair. Ricky's entire point in this movie is to be like, oh, yo, I'm Ricky. I'm like totally fucking cool. And you're like, yeah, you are. And then somebody talks to Angela.
Right, and he's like, no, leave my cousin alone.
Is rightly an asshole to Angela. And then he just gets into fights.
Or you threw a water balloon at her. Which doesn't seem that insane.
She just sits down.
Right, she just sits down.
Fucking bastards are gonna pay for this! Cocksuckers! Pricks! Go down and fight, you chicken shit! Come on, you fucking pussies! I'll kick your freaking asses over this goddamn camp, you fucks!
Does water ballooning count as a water sport?
Sure. Yeah.
You realize how dangerous those things are? You could have taken her eye out.
Do you know how dangerous that is? You could have put her eye out. It's a water balloon.
Right, let's calm down.
Well, and then the skinny dipping scene.
Oh boy.
Can we talk about the like seemingly 8-foot tall girl in the baseball tee with the red afro?
I don't think I noticed.
I love that they're all there, and they're like, no, we're not going to go skinny dipping with you. But Leslie's coming later, and she definitely will. Like, Leslie was like,
that was so weird. Yeah, I was confused by that. But she, like, clearly was not.
Right?
So it's like, what?
Leslie's up for anything. Except Leslie's not up for anything.
Have a good trip.
I don't like the way he said that. Are you two planning something?
Relax, Leslie. You can trust me. No, you fall in. We may never be seen again.
You bastard! I hate you!
Leslie swims off.
Uh-huh.
We see her swim off.
Uh-huh.
She says, I'm leaving, and swims off. The boy, instead of swimming after her, goes under the toppled over canoe and says, hey, Leslie. Like as if she didn't just leave.
So confused.
Leslie! Hey! Hey, you!
I think it was just, how do we get him under here? And they were like, just make up stuff. Because then he's like, hey, Baba, Reba.
Hey, Baba, Reba. Hey, Baba, Reba.
And you're like, who are you talking to? What's going on? Is it because there's an echo?
Right?
What's happening?
I was so confused.
Well, I have another question. So if Angela is so afraid of the water, because...
Right. How come she's in there murdering
How come
him?
she's like cool to go under the canoe and strangle him? Maybe she's only afraid to go in the water because people will see her penis.
I think so.
Not necessarily I'm afraid of water.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's a red herring.
Right. Okay, I have a lot of questions regarding this scene.
Okay.
Because he gets under the canoe.
Yes.
They're all on the side. They're like on the shore.
Like, oh, he's gonna fuck Leslie in this canoe?
And they can't hear him be like, oh, and he never splashed or struggled.
She's that good at killing people.
Quick.
Hey, Kenny, you scared all the chicks away. That's Kenny. Love him and leave him.
My other question.
Yes.
So then the next morning.
Wait, before we talk about the next morning. So then another, I think, very realistic moment. All the boys are like, fuck him. He's like joking around with us. Right. And then they all just like throw all the folding chairs into the lake. Just being pure douchebag teenage assholes.
Pick up this, pick up that. Clean this, clean that.
And then we get that body decomposed real quick.
That was my other question, was like, what happened to this body? It was like...
That makeup with the snake coming
and then the snake
looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, we get introduced to another favorite character. I mean, they're all my favorite characters. The cop.
Oh, boy.
He was horsing around, the canoe tipped over, he must have hit his head.
I don't think so. Weren't any bumps or bruises when I checked. Though, again, I'm no expert on this matter.
They're carrying his body in just a loose body bag. There's no gurney. They're just like, he's all bent, or whatever. I thought it was kind of disrespectful.
A little bit.
And there's like a real old lady EMT. Which I thought was cool, too. And we get Paul and Angela's first night out.
Ooh, yeah.
With the kiss, that really uncomfortable kiss.
Very rapey kiss.
I hope you're not mad I did that.
I'm not mad.
Very uncomfortable.
Sure.
She's standing there, dead-eyed, as usual. Just emotionless. And there's like a musical gliss. It's like...
Can I have another one? You know, another goodnight kiss.
Can I have another one? Ugh.
Yeah.
Never say that. Never say that. Like, it's so weird and uncomfortable, but also real.
Yeah,
like
sure.
A
little
teenage
bit.
high school-y kind of way.
Yeah.
But also she's wearing like the worst grandma tracksuit pants. Tucked in. It's a bad look.
Yeah.
I do question Paul's choices.
Oh, absolutely.
Why is he just that nice?
It's that he's repressing his homosexuality.
Okay, I think you're right, and I'm excited that, like, you discovered a new layer to this movie that I never thought of. And
You're welcome.
Into it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right?
Oh my god, and then that scene where they're always playing pranks on Mozart, right? That plot line that goes nowhere.
Nowhere.
I guess it's a red herring. You think, oh, maybe Mozart's the killer.
Sure.
That's the other
It's
thing.
always seemed pretty obvious to me who was the killer.
Well, that's what's kind of brilliant about this movie is that the whole time you're like, well, it's obviously Angela. well, I mean, it has to be Angela. Well, it's like, obviously Angela. So then you start to question yourself. By the end, you've like convinced yourself it's too obvious to be Angela. So then when it is her, you're shocked, but you're also shocked by something else. Right? Like it's like, it was her, but there was something else going on, you know, or whatever.
Here's the only thing that I wish also was present in this. Is this weird? Was it just me, or did Mel seem kind of like an aged version of the dad's homosexual lover?
I hope so.
Because then I was like, ooh, I love this idea where like the unknown gay man on shore
with the striped shorts
is the one who runs this camp.
A lot of time will live. I mean, he aged. The death of his lover really took a toll on him. Sure. He aged 50 years.
In 8.
I did want to know what happened to him.
I mean, he did witness the vicious, violent death of his lover.
Yes. Well, and then Angela finally starts talking.
Right.
And when she does, it's hilarious.
It is.
It constantly sounds like she has had way too much dairy.
Yeah.
Guess who?
Ricky.
Nope.
Burt Reynolds.
You're getting warmer.
Burt Reynolds. No.
Who are
it's you. It's
Who are
so
you?
weird. Oh, who are you? It's so weird.
Surprise.
Who are you?
I just love Burt Reynolds. No. Like, her, I love that was her trying to make a joke, though. She was getting fun with it.
She was having fun.
How does she know who Burt Reynolds is? Smokey and the Bandit?
Maybe she's a gay man, too, but who's been forced to transition against her will. And, like, she and Paul actually would be gay lovers together, except Aunt Martha forced to transition into Angela.
Aunt Martha's coming?
Just when you think, like, the deaths are gonna get stale.
Sure.
Like, just every single one is creative and
different.
Bill goes to take a wicked dump.
I gotta take a wicked dump first, so I'll see you guys down there, alright?
Got it. See you later.
You keep wondering, you're like, oh wait, he's gonna get murdered in the bathroom?
How is he gonna get murdered in the bathroom?
Like, what exactly? What's gonna go on here? And it's not what you think.
It goes in a different
It
direction.
still also doesn't make any sense. What kind of bees are these?
African killer bees.
Flesh-eating bees?
Oh boy. My real question is, why doesn't he climb under the stall?
That's what I thought too. I also would have at least just gotten on the ground so that, like, in like fetal position or whatever, enough to like hide as much of my flesh.
Falls out in his horribly decomposed, welting body. Yeah. But I do love that they pan across his arm and it's very clearly just a raspberry. Like,
really?
It's just like, oh, and there's a raspberry. That's like a welt or something. That's a raspberry. Just to be clear. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Good.
Angela goes out on a limb and says, okay, Paul, meet me down by the beach, right? They're going to go have a makeout sesh.
Yeah.
On the beach. This was weird. The music is as if it's From Here to Eternity. She trips him.
Yes.
And then runs away.
Uh-huh.
But she trips him in a sexy way.
Right.
And then, I am not being ironic, I thought this was genuinely a great moment of acting when they're kissing, she's kind of into it. She's like, oh, maybe I do like him. And then he goes to open her shirt. Dead eyes. Like, she transitions. It's like, I think it's actually a brilliant moment. And she just transitions to, oh God, I'm back here. Like, oh no. And then we get the flashback, the like, once again, David Lynchian-esque gay lover flashback.
But I just had a revelation.
Uh-huh.
I really love this idea that
Paul is gay. I'm telling you, this movie has layers.
It does.
And you just, every time you watch it, you just keep unwrapping more of them. That scene with the little kids giggling at the doorway.
Yeah. And they're like,
and then the gay lovers, and they're like, what's going on? And then the spinning bed of like,
pointing.
You are me, I am you.
I don't even know what that was.
You are the walrus, I am the Eggman. Like, it was very good. Cuckoo-ca-choo. I want to talk about the background extra work.
Okay.
For a little while. they're playing capture the flag.
Yep. Oh, right. This
And
whole scene. God, there's so many scenes.
There's so many scenes, but there's always something.
Sure.
So they're playing capture the flag. Real long explanation about how to play capture the flag. Like, from tip to tail.
You're going to be wearing white strips or blue strips. Now, the guys with the blue strips have to capture the white flag, and the guys with the white strips have to capture the blue flag. Sounds easy enough, right? Now, to capture the flag, you got to sneak into the other guy.
Yep.
Just like, and then we have a flag, and you have a flag. And then you're trying to get our flag, and we're trying to get your flag. And then whoever gets the flag across the other flag, so that's how you play capture the flag. Like, it was a lot, and I laughed very hard.
Who decided to keep all this in?
We had to reach that 80-minute mark. We had to get past that 80-minute mark.
Right? It's insane.
The baseball scene, just put them over the 80-minute mark.
But
by 4 minutes. But they're playing capture the flag, and they're having these dialogue scenes where all the kids are behind them, but there's clearly like 16 kids at this camp. And they're just sort of like circling each other, milling about, in sort of like a swarm formation. Like the director was like, just stay in frame of the camera. The other amazing, it's not an extra work necessarily, but background work is, at a certain point, Mel is convinced that Ricky is the killer. And there's a whole scene, they're down at the waterfront. Meg has confronted Angela. Why don't you ever talk? Answer me, Angela, answer me!
God damn it, answer me, Angela, answer me!
And she's picking her up and dragging her down
to the
beach to throw her in the water, and Judy's going.
Yeah.
And Ronnie, off in the distance, just lifting weights. They were like, oh, we need something, some action going on in the background.
Good.
I mean, he's already probably lifting them in between takes.
So
put him in the shot. I just love that everyone watches as this poor girl
is dragged to the water screaming, don't!
Screaming in terror. Don't, please don't, no. The lifeguard is nowhere to be seen. It's Paul Rudd again.
Yeah, exactly. I want to watch that movie again.
Yes. So then it really starts to amp up. So like it's kind of this lulling of like,
yes, a little bit, a little here, a little there.
Camp activities, a murder. Camp activity, you know, it's like kind of like, okay, what's going on? I'm intrigued because this is insane.
Yeah.
But also, what? And then it really amps up, and we get Meg's death. I feel like we didn't really talk about Meg enough. I mean, I feel like she definitely was molested as a child by her father or something. Like, something is going on because she is into Mel.
Yeah, which is super weird and creepy.
Got me a date tonight.
Oh, yeah? With who?
It's a secret.
She's going next door to take a shower in the abandoned cabin. Because there's a lot of talk between Ronnie and Mel about, like,
let's consolidate the cabins.
We're not going to have enough campers.
There's
like, two people have died.
Thank you. I was so confused.
There's a lot of talk about, like, oh, how are we going to fulfill all of these activities?
Not a single girl has died, mind you, and yet they emptied out an entire girls' bunk for reasons. Cool.
So it could be abandoned.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is one of my favorite tropes in movies. Meg goes to take a shower, and she's acting like she's never taken a shower before in her life. Well, lots of washing her collarbone.
Yeah.
Real close with the soap. And then, I mean, yes, it's a shower scene. You know, we've had a shower scene murder, blah, but it's different and new, and I like it. It's just like,
I mean, well, particularly because it's so weird.
Yeah.
I love that it's like an homage to Psycho, where it's like, oh, here's this shadow with a big knife,
yeah,
and like
yeah.
A shower scene. Oh no! But it's like, oh, you thought we were gonna go through the curtain? No, I'm going through this corrugated like metal like side.
And she's just like, ah, 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 ah. Thank God she leaned against the wall at that exact moment.
Right?
When Nadine Stockwell finds her, it's so, like gives her like a monologue about, oh my God, not Meg!
Oh my God, not you, Meg. He did this. to get back at me.
He's like monologuing to her dead body. It's just
But then it also was weird to me, speaking of lingering looks.
Yeah.
It felt like he kept looking at the body like he was like...
Because he's a gross person and she was naked.
Okay, cool.
That's the
that's the sense that I got too, and I was like, this is gross.
But fits into the world that they've created.
A little bit. So this whole movie, you're like waiting, you're like, okay, well Judy's the biggest bitch of everyone so far, right?
Yeah.
Of everyone who's been awful to Angela, she's the one who's been the worst. And then it's like this weird, confusing...
What? God, do you have to kiss so wet?
Do you have to kiss so wet?
Sorry.
And there's a shot that has always confounded me. It's a backlit shot of the cabin door of the killer. It's clearly Ricky. Like, you see his face. It's Ricky in a wig. And I read about it, and apparently the girl who played Angela's mom was like, she can't actually be the physical killer. She's too young. Like, I'm not okay with it. So Ricky did all of the handwork and was in a wig. So I think they just fucked up and were like, we're gonna get this backlit shot and you won't really see it. It'll just be a silhouette and you'll be like, ooh, who is it? But it's Ricky in a wig. It's just Ricky in a wig. Oh, it's you!
Oh, it's...
But yeah, no, she gets killed by a curling iron. She gets a curling iron pap smear.
Is that what happens? Okay.
Or she's not dead and she's also just horribly disfigured.
And was she like also smothered? Or was it just to smother the pain cries? I was confused.
Oh, right, because she puts the...
Pillow.
Yeah, no, so yeah, she definitely fucked her with that curling iron.
Oh, God.
Another visual sense of like, am I a man, am I a woman? Haha. A lot of layers.
Whoa.
A lot of layers.
You're really reading into this now.
I'm just saying, when you read into it, there's a lot going on. Like, oh, Judy, you're like a slut, I'll show you. Like, she's like, it's like fucked up. It's super fucked up. But like, that's what's going on, I think. It's like, fuck you, layers. It's like a trifle.
It's a trifle. It's got all of these layers. First, there's a layer of ladyfingers, then a layer of jam, then custard, then beef sauteed with peas and onions.
And then after Judy, it just starts amping up. Mel gets killed. Well, first Mel bludgeons Ricky to death like an orangutan.
Not to death.
Almost to death.
Almost to death.
Like an orangutan. Just like,
yeah.
And then he gets killed. Now, this was silly too. So he's in the archery range, and Angela is holding the arrow. We never see a bow.
No.
It seems like she simply went, phew, and it went straight through his neck. But that effect looked great.
It did look pretty good.
Like, for what it was, like, it was all a one shot. It wasn't like a wide and then a cut into an insert or anything. It was just like, phew, and I thought I was impressed.
That's fair.
I was impressed. The policeman that comes back, that clearly they had to reshoot because now he's wearing a fake mustache.
Oh my God.
Fake ass mustache. It almost would have been better if it was just like, oh, and he shaved.
Wait, what?
It's fine. It's been a few days. Maybe he decided to get rid of the mustache. That's fine.
Yeah.
It could be, or if you're confused, it could be a different policeman.
Who wrote it? The same guy who directed it?
I believe so, but I don't recall.
Okay, because that would be interesting. You know, it's like, it seems like the general premise is a lot deeper than the filmmaking.
Right.
Or is it? I don't know.
It's a mystery that we'll never solve.
Or is it like vague enough that you can read in a whole bunch of stuff?
What I think genuinely is that they inadvertently made a masterpiece. I genuinely believe that.
Sure, okay.
A terrible, terrible masterpiece.
Terrible masterpiece.
And then we get one of the greatest film endings of all time. I mean, the first time I saw this movie, I was floored. I had completely written this movie off as silly and stupid, and then I was like, oh, holy shit. So we get down to the beach. Paul and Angela have had a sexy fun time. Not Sissy Spacek and Ronnie have come up and, Angela, is that you?
Angela, can you hear me?
And we find out that Angela has a penis.
Yeah.
And is a boy. And in fact that Aunt Martha has systematically... I'm sorry. Aunt Martha? You're a liar!
I did not, you liar! Did not!
I'm not exaggerating that accent, by the way. That is spot on. Aunt Martha has decided that she already had a boy.
Right.
And she always, I've always wanted a little girl.
Just like
Angela.
me.
Isn't that a beautiful name?
You see, I've always wanted a little girl. But of course, when my husband left... Oh, well, that's all water under the bridges, I always say.
In real life, the sister has died.
Right.
And the brother has survived.
Right.
But she pretends that the sister has survived and no one is the wiser but her.
Right.
And isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
And crazy.
Yeah.
It's one of the craziest fucking endings of a movie ever.
I mean, it is pretty freaking crazy.
I mean, that shot is so eerie.
Yeah.
It's like,
Cheers. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you ignored our warnings and
watch this anyway, sucks for you.
Yeah.
You just ruined a great movie-going experience. You're bad.
But you can still watch it.
Oh yeah. It's a movie that's fun to show people.
Sure.
Like, it's like,
that's true.
You haven't seen Sleepaway Camp? Oh, holy shit.
If you watch this, then you'll have a bunch to like talk about with them afterward. You'd be like, okay, but wait, we have to talk about this though. But wait, you guys, like, remember when it was just a raspberry? So anyway, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We'll be back with Drag Race this Thursday.
Send us fun shit.
Yeah, send us like pictures of your Halloween costumes and all sorts of fun, campy, silly things.
Eat shit and die, Ricky.
Eat shit and live, Bill.